This is our phase one kind of area that we searched here a couple years ago. What we found here was there's 14 anomalies just behind me here.
It's a quiet space located just behind a house, not far from where a residential school once sat. It's one of the areas on George Gordon First Nation where underground radar was used to search for unmarked graves.
It is with heavy heart today that we announce the findings from phase 2 of the search for unmarked graves.
On Friday afternoon, community leaders released the results from another site. The chief says 8 new anomalies were detected, all on the east side of this stone building, that are consistent with the shape and size of a grave. That's in addition to the 14 reported in 2022. Chief Sean Longman says it's an important but heavy day.
It really brought up a lot of memories of the harmful things that had taken place there, and gives us that drive to dig further and to find the truth, the real truth of the history of Canada.
We need to do further work in some of the areas that we've uncovered just recently. We're going to expand the areas by the old school, as well as take a look at probably some other areas of interest. We had an opportunity to consult and talk with our community members, and they have made some recommendations on where we should continue phase 3.
This community, located 85 kilometers north of Regina, began their search in 2021. For this most recent phase, they received a federal grant. But the work continues, and so they say, does their need for more funding.
We have just recently received the news that the federal government has put a cap on the amount of funding that we can actually get. So we're going to be talking to the federal government and letting them know that we are going to indeed need further support to continue the work in the search. We've only just started.
One residential school survivor says that just days ahead of the National Day for Truth and Reconciliation, it's important for everyone to know the reality of residential schools. Joe McNabb is convinced those anomalies are indeed the remains of children who never made it home to their parents.
I feel that there's got to be more graves out there, because from the 1800s, there's a lot of trees that grow, there's a lot of shrubs that grow over all these graves, and I believe there has to be more searches there.
George Gordon First Nation says they'll continue their search for unmarked graves and for answers about what happened here all those years ago. Alexander Kwan, CBC News, George Gordon First Nation.